think about parenting, we often think about young children when that word comes up. Um, but we are parents. Once you become a parent, that's it, forever. You are a parent forever. And, it looks different at different stages. It's different when they are in their late teens and early 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. It looks different. But we never stop being parents. And so today I'm talking about that transition when your child has become a young person and they are going off to college, or they're going to university, or off traveling, whatever it is they're going to do next. Because that is all part of parenting as well. So I support people with children at all different ages. And so with going to college or uni, I have clients that I support with that and the challenges that can come up. And so I thought I would share some ideas with you for supporting your young person for going off to college or university when they're going to live in another place, or they might not be going to live in another place. I think that's a whole other episode if they're staying home and going to university, and the changes that there can be there as well. Because there's, whatever happens, right, there's a change in the family dynamic, whether they move away to go to uni or they stay at home. And one of the really powerful things, whichever way it goes, is to be able to have collaborative conversations. Now, I use a particular structure with my clients, with my one-to-one clients, and in my conscious parenting mastermind. But basically, a collaborative conversation is where you're able to work things out together in collaboration with each other, instead of us trying to tell them what we think they should or shouldn't do, to really work things out together, basically. And some of the things I thought I would bring today for you to think about is how much support your young person needs, for them to think about how much support they need, and for you to think about how much support they need to do that together, really. Do they need help with around budgeting? If it's the first time they're going away and having to manage all their things, maybe they might need some help around that. It's not really something you learn at school. You do maths, but you don't learn about budgeting. Are you sending your young person away without knowing how to budget, how to make the money that they get, the grant or the loan that they get, work? I know when I was at this point, I didn't have any support with that. I just had to figure it out my own. And there were times when I didn't do that very well, and I didn't have enough to eat and stuff like that, right? So do they need support with the budgeting? And what about emotional support? Some people might want to chat regularly, for you to check in with them regularly. Some might want some more space, but what I do know is this first term, if they're going off now, like I know people are literally going this week, they're going now, this first term is the hardest. The first year is pretty challenging, but the first term, when everybody's, they're settling in, they're trying to find their tribe and all of that. And I remember feeling really quite depressed in my first year, and there were people on my course who dropped out. Now, I didn't particularly have support, that much support from my parents, and I didn't feel like I could talk to them. And I think it's really important that your young person feels that they can talk to you. So check in with them regularly. Check in, work out together like how much support they might need, and that will change and alter as they go along. But also, I would really recommend putting in a visit or a couple of visits, like in this first term as well, to go and, you know, check in with them, see where they're at, if there's any support they need, because they won't necessarily tell you. So it's great to kind of check in with them, you know, go visit them, and yeah, within this first term, I think is a great idea. But yeah, check in with them how often they would like to see you as well. Because yeah, it can be really challenging this first term, and you want to really support them to be able to manage their course, their living arrangements, all the things, and all it's all so new, to be able to manage those things so that they can do what they want to do. You know, they're on a course, or it might be they need to make a decision because they find, oh, it's not what I thought it was going to be. Then they might want to pivot as well. And I know with universities, if you know, you have to have changed, you have to decided that you're not continuing with that year, so it fairly early on, so it doesn't affect your, you know, grants and loans and all of that stuff. So I believe, but don't quote me on this, it's before Christmas that you have to know if you're not going to carry on with the course, or you're going to change you know, courses or whatever, that you need to know by then. So there are a few things to be aware of and look out for when your young person is leaving to go and study, and there's a lot going on for them. So, you know, you've probably already thought of these things before. If you haven't, I just wanted to flag those up because I have clients I'm supporting through this transition as well, and so I thought it'd be really valuable just to highlight some things to get you thinking about, you know, so that you can support the best outcome for your young person who is stepping into this next phase of life, this next chapter of life, you know. So so let me know what you're taking away from today, and you know, the things that you are gonna try out or talk about with your young person. So let me know in the comments.